Recording in both places. There ain't no turning back now.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're recording there. Good. Okay, here we go. Got the read. Got the thing. Begins in 3, 2, 1. Coming up on TMS. Wait. That just disappeared. Why? There we go. That was really weird. Okay, back to it. In 3, 2, 1. Coming up on TMS, I test Brian's mettle when it comes to hero stuff.
The internet will make you less depressed when you're old.
Selfie dude made a crap ton of money based on his stupidity.
Don't they all? Colbert visits Dave.
Hurwitz is going to do something new for Netflix.
Recommendals.
Tom's Tech Time. Is that today, Wednesday? Yeah, Tom's Tech Time.
Yeah. Your emails and more on this episode of The Morning Stream.
The Star Trek USS Enterprise gift set with command chair, console, 3 telescreen cards, and 5 Star Trek action figures. Place Mr. Spock or any Star Trek figure into the transporter room. Spin the control knob and press the button. Mr. Spock disappears. Pretend he's left the deck of the Enterprise for outer space adventure. You can capture the Klingon and bring him back to the Enterprise. Star Trek USS Enterprise gift set. Star Trek action figures also sold separately by Mego.
Struck dumb at birth by a thunderclap.
The morning stream. The morning stream. The morning stream. The morning stream. The morning stream.
The morning stream. They sleeps in the raw with their ma and pa.
The morning stream. The morning stream. The morning stream.
Morning, everybody. Welcome back. Doing it again. Freaking another day. I kid. I'm excited.
I know. I love doing this. This is, you know what? I get up in the morning for this.
I do. That's the truth,
I'd
too.
be sitting there watching Kathy Lee and Hoda.
Oh, my gosh. Is that what's going on right now?
I don't think. No, I think they're on the legitimate a couple hours of the Today Show.
Yeah.
With,
Are they?
Roker
I don't even know. It used to be I would get some morning. I'd watch some
Something
morning
like
TV back when I had regular TV, but I don't do that stuff anymore. I don't know what's going on in that world. I don't know what's happening in morning television at all.
No, well, Ann Curry no longer there.
She's not there this morning. Good morning, everyone in the news this morning. Good morning.
Exactly.
Oh,
exactly.
Well, I miss her, even though I barely knew her. Here she is again.
The morning stream.
Whoop, that's not her. That's Adam Curry.
No, that's great. I say that's the best. That's
Whoops.
Ann Curry, Adam Curry.
I got the Currys mixed up. Here it is, right here. No, don't. Oh yeah, all right.
Good morning, everybody. In the news this morning, good morning.
Such a classic. So yeah, I don't know what that's like. People can write in. Tell us what your favorite TV show was before you started listening to this show live.
Mm-hmm.
And,
what TV show would you be watching if it weren't for us?
I mean, giant breaking news could be out. Well, you know what? We'd probably be aware. The chat room would tell us, some bomb went off or something.
They've come on before and said, hey, so-and-so just died, or this just in, that news story you were talking about yesterday is fake.
Yeah.
That comes across a lot.
I got an email the other day. I forgot to tell you about this that said, I was going to do a morning show. Thanks a lot. And that was the whole email.
Oh, signed Adam Curry.
Yep, Adam Curry. The guy's got talent.
It was going to be called How to Use a Soundboard. I've got talent.
Good times. We miss you.
The guy's got talent.
That's right, Scott Fletcher. So we're going to dive right in today. We got stuff to do, and it got me to thinking we're in the waning hours of your Kickstarter.
Yes, 9 hours left or something.
Is that what it is? So we got basically today. Like by the end of the day today, it's a done deal.
And we're less than 20%. I mean, it's up there. I think we're at 15,000 of the 18,000 goal, or 15,1 of the 18,1 goal. So,
yep.
God, 8 hours to go. I'm optimistic.
Sure, you should be, and here's why. 8 hours is a lot of time. It's more time than you think. People are going to make this happen.
Yeah.
8 hours is what it says. I wish it was 9. It's 8.
It's 8.
I'm checking it now. It says 8. So I thought to celebrate or to have a little fun with it today.
All right.
We'd play a little superhero trivia.
Superhero trivia.
Superhero trivia.
Superhero Brothers. I love that game.
I got to play that every time now.
Yes, that's your penance from now on. I love that. It's like it's your Hail Marys.
I can't believe one of the movies I hate the most.
Beads.
One of the movies I hate the most in this world has provided me a new thing.
Hey ha ho, hey ho.
That whole thing is just going to drive me crazy.
Tickets to the Mexican Hat Dance.
Hey, ho, ha, ho!
What a weird movie.
I love that.
So let's dive right into
More
this.
in retrospect. All right, go for
Now
it.
this is it's superhero trivia, but it's specifically guess because you're a Spider-Man fan. You like the Spider-Man,
I do.
right? Okay.
Yeah, I would say if the needle does point more towards Marvel for me than DC or Image or any of those, but I know my fair share of DC, but I definitely am more of a.
But are you specifically Spider-Man? Like are you into the Spider-Man? You like
I'd
the
say
people?
probably the franchise that I know the most on Marvel's side is X-Men. But
Oh, all right. Well,
but fair amount of Spider-Man too. I like the Spider-Man.
tough teats. We're gonna do Spider-Man. So here we go.
All right,
Are you ready for this?
I am ready for this.
Hold on.
Sorry, I gotta wipe my nose because
Oh, this
because
didn't.
I have to do that apparently for whatever reason. Allergy season lasts from March to October for me.
Yeah. What's your deal? What's that? What's going on
I
there?
really don't know. I think I've got a new CPAP mask that I'm getting used to.
Oh, how'd that go? You did the new
It went
test and
well.
everything? Yeah.
Yeah, still getting used to the new mask, but boy, this thing is doing great as far as the noise and the amount of air it's giving me. It's great.
Do you still look like a TIE fighter pilot? when you wear it?
Actually, I look even more like a TIE fighter pilot because it makes like an X across my face. It's actually it's pretty cool.
When I played with my Star Wars action figures as a kid, the TIE fighter pilot was the hero of all my stories because I just thought he was just so cool looking. Yeah, and his black and his little tubes hanging off his face and all that. He was the man.
Did he have a name? Like, was he Larry
He had
Larry
a name.
the TIE fighter pilot or something?
I wish it was that simple, and I don't remember his name, but I gave him like a real Star Warsy kind of name, like Bon Far or some stupid name.
Right.
That sounded like something in Star Wars, and I don't remember what it was, but I was so into that guy. He's the one that burnt Kirk. So I have
really?
Yeah, I have that burnt
yeah.
Kirk action figure, which I refer to as Burnt Kirk, and it's Captain Kirk from the motion picture Star Trek movie in the dumb outfit. And it was this TIE fighter pilot that dumped, I almost said the rice into the thing, dumped the
Firecrackers into the
Ah,
Enterprise?
No, the freaking cologne, but what's the my dad's Old Spice, dumped Old Spice all over him and then set him on fire and burned him.
I like that he's Michael Madsen in Reservoir Dogs, just
Basically.
dancing around, stuck in the middle with his TIE fighter uniform on.
Yeah, exactly.
What's that? I can't hear you, Kirk.
My ear.
Let me hold up your ear to my.
My ear really hurts. All right. So anyway, here's your trivia. You ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Spider-Man villains.
Okay.
That's
all
our
right.
trivia today. I was a thug for the Russian mafia who underwent a series of chemical and radiation treatments in order to transform me into a superhuman spy agent. My first mission was to capture John Jameson, the son of newspaper editor Jonah Jameson. I have appeared in Amazing Spider-Man 41 in 1966. Who am I? Or he first appeared there. I will give you a hint. We're going to see some of this guy in the next movie.
Oh, is he? He's Electro. Oh no, he's not. He's the Rhino. Duh. What am I thinking? Russian.
Correct.
Of course.
You pulled that one out. We'll give you that
Yeah, I
one.
pulled the one.
You know, may as well use this. There you go.
Okay.
Nicely done.
Golly, that was almost embarrassing. Right
Next
there.
one. I have the power, or enough power to destroy a planet, yet I was defeated by Spider-Man. I can travel through space at near light speed. By the way, some people think I'm seriously pronouncing it Spider-Man, but that's how I do it. And you know what? Okay. Keep on going on, folks who think that. Anyway, I can travel through space at near light speed. I was once considered a Herald of Galactus. I appeared in Thor 225 in 1974. That's his first appearance. Who am I?
Are you talking about Nova?
You are talking wrong. It is Fire Lord.
Fire Lord. Okay.
All right, next one.
All right. I knew Silver Surfer was way earlier as far as a Herald of Galactus, and I know Nova came later, but
yeah.
Fire Lord.
And a Herald of Galactus is like what the Silver Surfer was, right? Like
That's right. Yeah, and Fire Lord flew around with a lit Q-tip. Basically, he had a staff that was burning on both ends.
And it looked like a Q-tip. You're right.
Looked like a big burning Q-tip.
I think that's one of Jerry Conway's
Oh, really?
creations. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's one of his.
I remember it appearing in X-Men Fire Lord appearing in X-Men 107 just after Phoenix had had come around, and he was like, "Hubba hubba,
Oh yeah, Phoenix.
your hair's on fire.
Hey, look at that. Let's get my Q-tip
let's
with
get
your
busy.
hair. Yeah.
let's take my Q-tip and go places."
Let's do some stuff. All right, here's one for you. I'm the offspring, yet not from birth. I am an offspring, yet not from birth. I am a spawn of a venomous man, and he is not my father. I began my life in prison and spent quite a bit of time returning there. I am a creature from outer space, but have never left this planet. I first appeared in Amazing Spider-Man 344 in 1991. Who am I?
I'm hoping you're talking about Carnage.
You are correct. Nicely done.
Yes.
All right.
The spawn of a venomous, whatever was the kind of the giveaway there at the beginning.
I'm hearing a weird sound. Hold on. Is that my wife? Oh, she's doing a juice. It's the juicer.
I'm hearing a weird sound. Is that my wife?
The juicer is upstairs, and I don't know that I've heard it while I've been down here, and that sounds really weird coming through the floor. All right. Here's one for you.
All right.
I am one enemy, but I am three different people. They call me a goblin, but I am not green. I used to be a fashion designer, reporter, and international mercenary. I am now just a criminal relaxing in the sanctuary of the Caribbean. I first appeared in Spectacular Spider-Man 43 in 1980. Who am I?
Wow. That wouldn't be the Hobgoblin, would it?
You are correct.
Okay.
Nicely done. Fifth and final, most crucial question. Well, you know what? We got two more. Sorry. This is 5 of 6.
All right.
A pen in hand is all I need to bring the web crawler down to his knees. When my typewriter writes, the city listens. Top story, top headline. That's my weapon of choice. I name the worst villains and make them well known. If you ask me, I tell you. I am the web crawler's menaces. I am the web crawling menace's worst foe. I first appeared in Amazing Spider-Man #1 in 1963. Who am I?
That'd be J. Jonah Jameson.
Very nicely done.
Ah.
All right, here you go. Number 6. You're doing great so far.
I like this, yeah.
I've not been keeping track, so I don't know.
I missed Firelord, and I should only get a half a point for Rhino.
All right. Look at you being all fair. If Tom was here, he'd add like 50 points or something.
That's right.
He'll be here later.
Minus 10 points for
Indeed.
for being a smartass.
All right, here we go. I was the first and won't be the last. I love disguises, and I have even pretended to be dead. I know who Spider-Man is, but I'm too insane to remember. Craven is my brother, but we have two different mothers. I first appeared in Amazing Spider-Man 1963, or Amazing Spider-Man #1 in 1963. Who am I?
I believe that's the Chameleon.
You are correct. My gosh, dude. You
Brother
just,
to Craven. Okay, there's a piece of trivia I didn't know.
You didn't know that? I didn't know they were related either, actually.
That's later lore.
All right, I'm going to give you one last bonus question. If you get this one right, you get 100%. If you get this one wrong, it's off to the dogs with you.
All right. Oh, geez. This is the make or break. Why did I answer those other questions then?
Yeah, it's a good point. So we could have just. I actually hate that in trivia, don't you? The one that wins it all or loses it all.
This last question is worth 35 points.
I hate that. So we're not going to do this. Instead, we're going to say this. This one lets you pick what weird food we eat with Daryl today.
Oh, okay, cool. I
Okay.
like this.
All right, here we go.
Right.
I was a private investigator, but now I'm not. Before I met Jameson, I had a clear head, but now I'm insane. He paid me good money to be his personal lab rat. He gave me a green suit and a stinging, lethal tail.
All right.
They say that my name was Gargan, but I don't remember that. All I can remember is revenge! Not only on that spider, but on Jameson as well. I first appeared in Amazing Spider-Man 20 in 1965. Who am I?
Hold him up to the camera right here. That is the Chameleon.
You are...
I'm sorry, not the Chameleon, Scorpion. I'm holding.
Oh, all right. I was gonna say, what do you? That looked like the Scorpion.
It is the Scorpion. I don't like. Just still have Chameleon on the brain. That's hilarious.
The
I'm trying to be all like confident and cocky. Oh yeah, got him right here. Lead figure right there. Boom.
Now I'm here to tell you did damn well. Despite that thing, that was a minor goof.
Yes.
As far
Tom
as I
would not have appreciated
and
that.
I would have not known that answer at all. And in fact, if you'd have held that figure up, I would have said, "Where'd you get the He-Man figure?" I would have thought that was a He-Man
really?
villain. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no.
That's how little I know about the Scorpion. But
actually, he is currently anti-venom. He is a symbiote like Venom and Carnage in the current continuity, but he can cure cancer. He's like in a white costume that looks like the negative of Venom.
Is he in the Superior deal? Superior Spider-Man?
He's in. No, that's all over. Well,
Yeah,
he was.
that's done
Yeah,
now.
actually, he was in Superior for a while, but yeah. But he was around before. He was around before Doc Ock became.
I have not kept up on my Spider-Man business at all.
There's for a while they were doing 3 issues a month. It was almost impossible to keep up with, and I've fallen off the wagon as far as keeping up with there's so many comics, and it's like, just when you think that, all right, I'm just gonna subscribe to X-Men, couple different varieties of X-Men, like they've got 11 different issues a month. Spider-Man, and then the Avengers. Then they keep introducing all these new number ones. Oh, how about the new Avengers, and the secret new Avengers, and the uncanny Avengers, and
there's a lot going on.
There are, yes.
I just started reading I don't know how old it is, actually. I don't think it's that old, but I want to say it's Bendis's run of something where it basically starts with things are going real bad in the current day. So Beast goes back in time, which he never does.
Yes.
He only does it because he has to, and he talks to himself, and they're trying to stop Scott Summers from running amok in the future.
Right.
So they go back to the 60s era guys in their suits and stuff. It is an awesome storyline. I'm way into it. It's really good.
No, that's actually good. And he brings the original X-Men to the future.
Yes, and the art, and it's very Days of Future Pasty.
It is, and it's another way of them to say, all right, we're bringing Jean Grey back one more time,
and it's a way that I don't mind. It kind of works, because you could go back in time and get her. It's a really good so far run. I'm just reading the first collection now. I didn't read it when it came out, and the art is just insane. Freaking love the art in that thing. So anyway, recommendation, trivia, and a reminder to go to bit.ly/jazzhero.
Yes.
Support this damn thing. You had 8 hours. Come on. Let's go. Let's do this. All right. Daryl time, you think? Maybe?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's bring on the Daryl. Oh, Eddie Brock currently is anti-venom. Somebody just corrected me in the chat room. That's right. For a while.
I thought Eddie Brock died. No?
No.
Oh.
He's around.
Is it just
because he's back in anti-venom form?
Oh, good.
Chameleon was Venom for a little while.
All right. Well,
regular Venom.
Okay. Anyway. Now we know. It's Stump a Trek Nerd, brought to you by
a new documentary called For the Love of Their Brother, for which we are raising funds through Indiegogo. Please head to tiny.cc/Siller to donate or to help spread the word.
Okay. Sounds good. Daryl, you there? Daryl?
Daryl?
Is he still ringing? Oh, he didn't pick up.
Daryl?
What's up with that? Hold on. We're going to call him again. Call failed, it said.
Wow.
Failed.
Oh, Skype, is there nothing you can do?
Yeah. Nothing you can do right or consistently. Oh, it says, okay, yeah, he's there. I don't know why he's not answering. Oh, late breaking news.
Uh-oh.
Mark is commandeering Nicole and taking her to breakfast. She will not be on the show today. Oh, how will I know what to recommend? Jeez. Actually, I have my own recommendal today. We'll do that.
You do? Okay. I'll try to see what I can come up with.
Now Daryl's there. Hi, Daryl.
There. That's better.
That's weird. What was going on there?
I have no idea. My phone never buzzed or did its thing or anything.
Well, that's very strange. Nonetheless, and notwithstanding, we're happy to have you here, Daryl. Daryl's a Trek nerd, everybody. Comes on the show, does Star Trek trivia, and we kind of hang out and talk and have some other fun. Even if you don't like Star Trek, pretty sure you'll like what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Daryl does
if you're
things.
New, if you're new here.
Yeah. You might know Daryl from this.
So dramatic.
That. Remember that? And that, which I promised a guy on Twitter yesterday I would quit playing because it made him sick. But I'm sorry, I've broken the promise.
It does sound like there's something actually physical coming out of Daryl's throat.
Doesn't it though? Listen to that one more time. Oh gosh.
He's taking a dump in a can.
Can the same person who stretched out Veronica Belmont's sausage clip do the same thing with that? Daryl noise.
Actually, I figured out how to do that now. I'm gonna mess around.
Oh, the amazing slow downer application.
Yeah, it's cool. You can do it in Audacity. It has a feature that just does it, and I think that's how they did it. Anyway, there you go, Daryl. It's good to have you back. It's time to do some Star Trek trivia, and let's just jump right in. I'm sure we have birthdays. We got food to test. Life is good. In the original series episode, The Omega Glory. All right. That's a new supplement at GNC. You can just go get a whole bottle of it. The Omega Glory. The Enterprise, you're always telling Brian's typing or something, because that was a good joke, and you would have normally laughed at that.
Sorry.
That would have really got him good.
Sorry, yes.
What was
Using
it?
my other computer.
It's the Omega Glory. The Enterprise finds the USS Exeter floating around in space. He put a Bose in space. What? USS Exeter floating a planet. Around, he meant? I don't know. Above. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
They
It's one letter off above.
So
I came back from typing for this.
I can't. I'm reading his mistakes wrong. You notice that? What's going on?
Well, it's because
All right, fine. They beam over and find the crew reduced to small piles of white crystals. We've talked about this episode a bunch.
Oh, yeah.
McCoy takes some McReadings. I made that part up.
Did I supersize those?
He lists off several elements of Captain Kirk. What element does McCoy not include in his McReadings? A, magnesium, B, carbon, C, potassium, or D, calcium. That's magnesium, carbon, potassium, or calcium. I had a banana this morning. That's got calcium in it. Or potassium. Maybe both. I don't know. All right. While you consider your options there, because there are many. I got to pull this up. Here we go. Let's play this.
Are you hungry? Aren't you hungry?
What's a foodie?
Brian's trivia win means he gets to pick today's Finnish food.
Oh, yeah. Finnish food.
So what do you want, man? You tell us.
I could be really mean and say we've got to eat these discs that look like they were pulled out of somebody's sarcophagus.
Yeah, I know. It's like, it's proof Tutankhamun buried himself with his money.
We're going to have to eat these at some point.
I don't
They
care
also
if
look like
it could be today.
They look like giant white blood cells.
They do,
Oh,
yeah,
they
totally.
do, yeah.
Yeah.
Like out of a
We
whale
wouldn't
or something.
Tell you what, we'll eat the things that look like little waffle,
Okay.
like chocolate waffle cubes.
The bag lists them as Famapala.
Fanny Pala is the bag that I've got.
Okay.
Oh, these are fairly large. So did you guys actually get a Ziploc bag with those in it, or did you get
A mini grip.
I got a Ziploc bag. Oh, a mini grip, yeah.
Yeah, I got one of those too. It's awesome.
Those are cooler sounding than
Use this for
Ziploc.
chip clips.
Okay, are these homemade? Is that why they're in a bag?
No. There was a large bag which I have here,
Oh, okay.
and
they got
they
split up.
it between the three of us.
Got it. Okay. That's totally fine.
That's totally fine. Yes, as long as one of us gets the bag and can say what it is.
I feel a little better about
Identify
it.
it. Yes.
All right, so we're going to eat the
So we can look in the back and say, yes, does not contain cuttlefish. We're good.
No cuttlefish. So Pala.
Jensen.
Weary.
All right, here goes. Let's give it a shot. Oh, minty.
Mm-hmm.
A little minty to you?
It's like a little minty Kit Kat.
Yeah.
Yeah. With marshmallow filling.
Mm-hmm.
That is not bad.
No, it's not bad at all.
I could eat that.
Why is it
And you
yellow
just
inside
did.
though? Yellow is
Oh.
not a good food filling color unless it's like a.
Yeah, because it seems
Jelly
like something's
filled
kind of
donut.
off, you know?
Uh-huh.
Like that can't, like something's not right.
That's the
The
glue
universal-
that holds it.
The universal
Hold it all
symbol for
together.
mint is green. That should be green in there.
Yeah, I think that should be green. Yellow is like something the doctor tells you something shouldn't be. Like, I'm a little concerned about your nasal drip. It shouldn't be yellow or whatever. You know, that's what that is.
Exactly. Yeah. That's
Speaking of which, I've got Kim juiced me something, but it's done the thing it does where everything is settled into 3 layers: foam, goo, and then liquid, and I can't mix it because I have nothing here to mix it with. Kim, bring me a spoon. Effing spoon. Bring me a spoon. All right. Yeah, that's not bad. I'm gonna eat more of that. I think I can share it with the kids. They'll like that too. Daryl, while we're here, let's do a little birthday action. It's not going to be as big as Kirk or any of these other people, and we know Nicole's having a birthday today. Happy birthday, Nicole!
Mm-hmm.
But what
Yeah.
else is going on? Who else is having one?
I just sent a message to her. She said, "Hey, if Scott doesn't see my text, could you let him know that I forgot it was my birthday today and Mark wants to take me to breakfast?"
Oh,
And I
great.
said, "If he's taking you from TMS, I'm taking his circular saw for the next TWW."
Nice. The TWW.
The TWW.
I like
Because I
it.
didn't want to type out the Wood Whisperer.
The Hood Whisperer.
Hood Whisperer.
Whisperer. So what was my point? I was going to say something about that. Oh, happy birthday to her. So how about who else? Who does she share a birthday with?
Well, she shares a birthday with Gabriel Damon, who plays Jeremy Astor in the TNG episode The Bonding. He was a little kid that was actually an alien or something.
Oh, that seems good.
And yeah.
Not like what? No, wait, is it? It's how old now? How old did the person?
What did I not write this down?
Usually, dude.
I never have not written one down.
But they're still with us, yeah.
He's like 35 or something.
That's not too old. That's good. That's just old enough to file a civil lawsuit against a famous director for molestation when you were 15. All right. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah. He was 12 when he did that episode.
Did you hear there's a bunch of other people listed in that lawsuit now? It isn't just Bryan Singer. It's like some big ring of weird Hollywood old men.
Yeah, I mean, the original news story said that it was a bunch of guys in a mansion that basically, one would lock him in the closet and tell him he couldn't come out until he did something.
Yeah.
And actually, it was one of the guys that was his original target of the lawsuit. And I guess he expanded it to include Bryan Singer more recently.
Well,
yeah,
I'm trying to see if there's any updates. That whole thing is just ugly, man.
It really is.
Do you think it's going to taint the movie? Do you think? I mean, not. I don't mean for us. I mean, we're seeing it because it's got X-Men in it.
Oh, it has to. I mean, it has to have some effect.
Think anyone's going to boycott it?
Certainly, yeah. I'm afraid so.
I feel like that. I mean, it's a civil suit. It's not a criminal case.
Okay.
So that just means the damages are money. It does, at the end of this, if Bryan Singer is proven guilty in this particular case, he doesn't go to jail. He pays a bunch of money because that's what this is.
Right.
I'm not saying that's good or bad or whatever. They tried to get. Isn't that what they did with OJ? They couldn't convict him criminally, so they did the civil one and won.
And that's the one that exactly. Yeah.
So I don't know what all that means or whatever. What a weird. It's weird stuff. Hollywood, dirty underbelly, man.
Golly, no kidding.
If it's true, horrible. If it's not, kind of horrible. Either way, it just sucks.
Archineer reminds me of Ender's Game, like how that probably had a really big effect on how poorly Ender's Game did.
Yeah, but that's just a guy with a dumb opinion, Yeah. I think people are allowed. Like if a guy goes, I don't hold with them gays. Well, you're a bigot and a jerk, but that isn't. You didn't potentially molest a dude. You know what I mean?
Well, if the accusations are true, then isn't it Bryan Singer's opinion that what he did is okay?
Sort of. Not really though, because he's not claiming that. He's not going. He's not.
Well, okay. I see what
there's
you're
a big difference. Yeah, you're being accused of violating somebody else's rights and doing criminal activity against somebody versus somebody just sharing a dumb opinion.
Having a bad opinion. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, that's a huge difference.
Idiotic bigot.
As idiotic and lame and bigoted as it is, it's still just a dude talking out of his ass.
Yeah.
You can let that happen. That happens every day.
Yeah,
but
true.
Molesting a kid when he's 15, if he did, that's a little heavier deal.
Yes, okay, worse than an opinion. Yes, okay.
All right.
We'll go back to typing.
All right, fine. Daryl, let's get to whatever the hell we're doing here. Oh yeah, happy birthday to that kid who's not a kid anymore. All right, moving on. Let's go back to your question here.
Something sounds delicious.
I know. Was that Brian doing that? I like that.
I'm closing up the rest of the bag here so I don't eat any more of this. I'm putting that. They gave me a nice little blue chip clip.
Oh, the chip clip.
A little finished blue chip clip.
You have to lick it?
I could. No. I have no idea where that's been.
say lick the chip clip as fast as you can. Just say it fast.
Lick the chip clip.
Okay.
You were trying to get me to say something far worse.
I sure was. So, Daryl, the question remains. McCoy and his readings, he was telling Kirk what was going on down there, what elements were there, and he mentions one in particular. It was either magnesium, it was either that or carbon, potassium, or calcium. One of those things is one of your options, and if you get it right, you win a prize.
So it's one of these things that he didn't mention.
Right. Or something.
Magnesium, carbon.
Does he not include, yeah.
And if you win that, by the way, if you get this right, I will send Daryl his own copy of this year's free comic book day print.
Wow.
Which in,
Oh my God.
which in truth, everyone can sign up for and get free. But I'll send Daryl one without him having to sign up for it. How about
I
that?
thought you were going to suggest that he gets to pick the food tomorrow.
He can do that too if he wants. But we'll actually give you something today if you get this right.
And if I get it wrong, I'll sign up for it and get it free anyway.
Correct. Either way, you win. Either way, you win. Daryl wins either way. That's today's thought.
Okay. What was the last one?
Calcium,
Oh, calcium.
like the deposits in my colon.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the ones.
If you... Oh, now I'm not sure. It's between magnesium and calcium. Because if you turn into a pile of white stuff, carbon would be in there. Calcium is your bones. So you got to have calcium. Potassium is all the bananas you ate.
Yeah.
And magnesium is something that burns really bright when you light it on fire. So, well, my first thought was magnesium, and it's probably wrong, so I'll just get ready to order a comic book. So I'm going to say magnesium.
All right, well, have your finger on the mouse just in case, but let's find out if you're right. Is it magnesium?
Congratulations!
It is magnesium.
You're a winner.
He does not list magnesium. McCoy says these piles of crystals, or crystals, as he wrote, that was like rapper version of crystals, are all that is left after all the water is taken out of the body. He says water makes up 96% of our bodies. This seems a bit high. Here's a clip of that conversation right here.
Jim, the analysis of this so far is potassium 35%, carbon 18%, phosphorus 1.0, calcium 1.5. Jim, the crew didn't leave. They're still here.
What do you mean?
These white crystals, that's what's left of the human body when you take the water away, which makes up 96% of our bodies. Without water, we're all just 3 or 4 pounds of chemicals.
So here's the deal. That is true, that number. 96%? That's totally right, isn't it?
I thought it was more like 80-something.
Water percentage of body. We're going to find out right now via the internet. It's a helpful resource when Google works. What's going on here? Is Google down? Oh, no, here we go. How much of your body is water? Says chemistry.about.com. Let's see if they're right. It is. Oh, the answer is ranges from 50 to 75%.
Oh, that's low.
It is low,
Yeah.
so it's lower than I thought. I think maybe it's an old wives' tale that it was 96. Way to go,
I
McCoy.
remember Calvin and Hobbes perpetuating that when Calvin said, "I'm gonna drink so much water, I'm gonna push myself over the 100% limit and turn into a
water
being or
elemental."
something."
Yeah,
Yes, exactly.
that's great. So Dr. McCoy needs to get his McFacts straight by going to McSnopes or something. Anyway, there you go. There's your stuff. And Daryl got it right. Way to go. You get a free print. First time ever, Daryl wins something. And you get to pick whatever we eat out of this crap tomorrow.
Oh, I won something before, I think.
Did you? I don't remember. Oh, you've won games and stuff before.
Yeah, that and these headphones, I think.
Oh, yeah,
I think
yeah.
I won them.
I think you won. I think I was sending those to you either way, but I'm glad you won them. I think you earned them. Daryl's the Trek Nerd on Twitter. He's also at thisweekintrek.com. He's also part of the Grumpy Cast over there. Grumpy Cast? No, Grumpy Geeks.
Yeah.
Grumpy Nerds?
No.
Cast.
Grouchy Turds, right? Grouchy Turds. Grumpy Cast. Grumpy Geeks. Grumpy Cast. That's it. Grumpy Cast. Check it out now on iTunes now. And good stuff all around. All right, Daryl, let's play a game called what?
Star Trek food or actual soup.
All right. I had a new theme for you, but I don't think I can find it now. Oh, I know why. Hold on. This is a good one. We don't want to waste it. We got to use it. Okay, here we go. How about this one right here? That's a good one. Woo!
Wow.
All right, lay it on us.
Leg man.
Leg man. First of
Leg
all,
man.
what's his powers? Brian, come on now.
Like, man, he's
Really slow.
I was gonna say he's really a big fan of legs and not so much of the butts. But,
Perfect.
Excelsior.
Yeah, he knows
like
what
Jack
he likes.
Kirby.
He knows what he likes.
It's
He knows
LAG.
what he likes. That should be his power. He knows what he likes.
Lag man.
Lag man.
Lag
That's why I
man.
said he's really slow.
Oh, got it.
Oh, lag.
I thought you were saying it was really slow because Brian was slow coming up with his
I
powers.
know, and actually, ironically, I was being more of a lag man than a leg man.
Yeah, see? All right, fine. Lag man.
Lag man. Actually, that I think is a real soup. I want to say it's Thai.
Still uses AOL. Excelsior. Let's
Loves
see.
to play with a spinning beach ball.
That sounds very, very soupy to me.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going soup.
And you're right. It's made with pasta, veggies, and lamb.
Damn straight. Don't forget it.
Where's it from?
He left. He's gone
he's
now.
gone.
It's from somewhere. Somewhere good, somewhere great.
Television highlights of the news of yesteryear.
It's the news.
Put on your spoiler-proof pants and head on over to Podl.fm, where those pesky Brits are back and talking Game of Thrones. Join us Wednesdays from 1 p.m. Mountain Time, or the Mountain Time, to hear the show live. See, that's the Game of Thrones reference there.
I like it.
Or subscribe to the podcast. Find this and other nerdy goodness at Podl.fm.
Nice. I saw this episode from Sunday.
Okay.
The Game of Thrones there.
Yeah.
People are flipping out about that scene.
What's the reaction? It's the...
I'm not sure why, though.
Oh, the scene. Yes, I know. The
I'm not exactly sure why.
consensual or non-consensual scene.
I get it. I get the outrage, but why is it just now an outrage? It's always going on in that show. That show is all about nobody's got real consent ever about anything in their lives. Specifically that part. I'm not trying to spoil anything here, but
Sure.
they're already, those two are already so jacked up. It's just not, I wasn't like, it's, everybody's like, this is the most horrifying moment in the history of the show. No, it isn't. It's not even close.
Right. No, yeah. I mean, it was startling. Certainly a startling scene.
Well, sure, but in the context of Game of Thrones, at least the way HBO's doing it, it's
exactly.
nothing. It's just kind of like, it isn't to diminish it or anything like that. But I need people, the dragon part. That part's fake. All of this is fake. This is all fake, right? Everybody, it's made up. Relax, calm down.
Morton.
This doesn't mean. Whatever.
So Cap Kipper is saying that it wasn't in the book, so it surprised a lot of people.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah.
Oh, well, this is where I'm caught up to where we kind of were last week.
Oh,
that's
really?
as far as I am, and so everything's new from here on out for me.
Oh, wow.
I know. I feel bad about it because I really want to. But the problem is I got the new iPad and then never got the bookmark right. I couldn't remember where the hell I was, and I didn't have it synced on iCloud, and so I'm just lost right now. So anyway, I plan to still catch up and read along with it, but. So it's not in the book. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sure. I guess you can be mad from a purist standpoint of the not in the book, but again, there's a lot of things not in the book.
Yeah, and it's also apparently it's not so much what happened in the show that people are upset about. It's what the director is saying that quote unquote it was consensual by the end.
Oh, is that what he's? Is that? Oh, they're mad about him saying that.
Yeah.
Oh, I could see. I guess I could see that. But again, I would remind people it's a bunch of fakery. These aren't real people.
Sure.
So it's a story I've seen Bad Lieutenant. I may even regret seeing it, but I saw it. I don't think anything in there was real.
Mm-hmm.
And these are movies and TV shows.
Right.
And it may be a little rough on some sensibilities, and I would just say to that, you probably shouldn't be watching it then, I guess. I don't know. I don't know where I sit on that thing. Stuff like that, I know it's sensitive material. It's kind of like this. Let's say a Harry Potter movie suddenly decided to push a busload of kids off a bridge.
Okay.
That would seem pretty harsh.
Not in a slow motion Inception kind of way.
No, not in that. No, not where 50 other things are going on 3 levels deep. Not like that.
Okay. All right.
If that happened,
it would feel weird because it's so out of context with everything else that happens in the movie.
I guess, but see, I guess that's why that's not happening here for me, because it feels like, that's about how these people would behave. That's how Jamie's an ass. He's horrible.
Like a bunch of dead young Jedi, right?
Yes, kind of like that. That's a good example of it. And in that case, again, I kind of felt like, well, what does everyone expect exactly from an evil Jedi? Like, from a fallen Jedi going all Sith on you? What'd you expect? And so in this particular case, I just kind of go, yeah, Jamie's a horrible, horrible character. He's a terrible man.
Right. And it's just when you're, and we're giving, I certainly don't want to
you start to have a little bit of sympathy for the guy. I lost his
Last
hand.
season.
Him and Brienne had, they were having their road buddy movie going on there.
Right.
Like all this stuff's going on, and then, look what he did. I get it.
Yeah.
I get why people.
And also, it just tells you that these people aren't two-dimensional. They're not exactly what you expect. They're going to do things that are unpredictable, and that's the joy of dramas.
And the Lannisters are the most terrible human beings there are.
Exactly. Well,
I mean,
except for Tyrion.
Tyrion, sure. Even he's got his black marks, but he's at least got a heart in there somewhere. He's got some sense of nobility and good. The rest of them are terrible. And when they do terrible things, none of us should be shocked. Anyway, moving on.
All right. Okay.
Retirees who use the internet are less likely to be depressed.
Really?
This is good.
They're not reading YouTube comments.
Nope.
then.
Nope. Older Americans who regularly spent time on the internet or online were about a third less likely to suffer from depression in a new study that compared them to peers who did not use the internet. Quote, the largest impacts on depression were actually for those people who lived alone. So it is really suggesting that it is about connecting with others, eliminating isolation and loneliness, lead study author Sheila Cotton says. Depression affects nearly 8% of Americans over the age of 50. 8 is all? That seems low. Anyway, whatever. Or between 5 and 10 million people. That seems high. Says the authors in the Journal of Gerontology, Series B. Older adults are much more likely to experience depression, loneliness, and social isolation than younger people, she told Reuters Health. A researcher in telecommunication, information studies, and media in Michigan State University in East Lansing said she wanted to see if getting older people online might lower that risk. This is interesting because my mom, who's not really starved for, she's not isolated at all. I mean, they're very active. They're always going out with their friends and eating all the time and going to movies and just doing stuff with all their buddies and whatever. And they're all in their 70s. She's not really having that problem. But I have seen an uptick in kind of her just general, I don't want to call it confidence, but there's something that went up a bit when she started using Facebook a lot. And I think that lets her connect with a lot of old friends, people she can't see all the time, grandkids in other states. Like, there's something to this.
Yeah.
I think it's better for them than it is for us. I really do sometimes.
Right. No, it lets them keep in touch and stuff like that. I mean, as long as they're staying away from stuff like YouTube comments.
Yeah, don't accidentally get into 4chan or something,
Right.
But
FARC.
Don't go to FARC. What's this boobies reference I see? But this is the whole point, is the internet, we all want to get all angsty with it and use it for these sometimes, scurious ways. It's not even a word. Scurious? That is not a word.
Weary.
It's required to play it every time now. But they it seems like they're using the internet kind of what it was envisioned for.
Right.
Like the big dream of the simple connectivity and we are all coming together and look at all this information. That seems to actually work for the over 50 set.
Well, because they're not busy on Photoshop creating memes.
Right.
So that helps a lot too.
Yeah. The other day I was trying to make an animated GIF of that guy getting kicked in the head while he was trying to take a selfie by the train.
Yeah, the train guy.
Yeah. My mom was probably sending a nice letter to her granddaughter. I'm over there making an animated GIF.
See?
So yeah.
What have you learned?
I've learned nothing.
I wonder if they blocked WebMD at on retirement home internet routers.
What does it mean when my entire intestine is hanging out? .com. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you would think that would be a dangerous place for them to go, wouldn't you?
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it.
I'd think about blocking it here just for that same reason.
Just for your own sanity.
Yeah.
Speaking of that selfie dude, got an article here about him. Selfie with a kick to the face is the guy that stood in front of the train. You've seen this, right?
Yes.
All right. Made a crap ton of money from his stupidity. It's a weird formula, says this article. Travel to a far-flung destination, get kicked in the head by a worker on a passing train, profit from a self-shot video of the encounter. Jared...
Step 1. Step 2.
Jared Frank might just make it work. 22-year-old Canadian. By the way, he's not American. A bunch of people are like, stupid Americans. That was the comments under the YouTube thing. I'm like, oh, he's Canadian, guys. Sorry about that.
You should be out there saying sorry then, yeah.
Yeah, so sorry. 22-year-old Canadian could earn big bucks, or already is, for his viral clip on or this according to I skipped all over the place. CBC. Frank, whose YouTube handle is Jared Michael, told why though? That's weird.
It's his middle name. He doesn't want to give away his.
Oh, all right. Doesn't want to put the beans with the Franks, if you know what I'm saying.
Right.
Told the outlet that he made a deal with a licensing company, Jukin Media. The CBC estimated the arrangement could mean between $30,000 and $250,000 in revenue, plus potential income from other licensing. Good Lord.
That's insane.
What are we doing? What have we become? I mean, think about it for a minute.
Yeah.
250 grand, you got... you know what? Great. I wish I had that dumb video. I could use the cash.
Exactly.
I guess if you're looking at it just that.
Let's go stand in front of a train, Scott, and see if we can make some money.
I mean, I should take my camera to Burger King from now on. Because something weird's going to happen, and I may as well make some money from it.
Yeah, no kidding, actually. Well, you know, it happens every time you go through the drive-thru, right?
Yeah. I don't know. The internet's weird. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Just imagine, like, I don't know, a guy like PewDiePie could make a bunch of dumb game videos in his boredom time and then become the internet's, or the most subscribed to YouTube channel in the history of the medium. 26 million subscribers for that guy who does nothing but, run through haunted house games and scream. And they're good. Don't get me wrong. The guy's got talent. You know he's got talent. It's just, you just never know what's going to explode. You just don't know.
Right.
I guess until you do it. Until you get kicked in the head, you don't know.
But as a society, we make heroes out of the weirdest things.
We really do.
And
none of the things that seem like matter the
most. Freaking fame, man.
Fame is fleeting. Fame is weird.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you what isn't weird.
What's not weird?
Building a really, really good web presence and website online using somebody like Squarespace at squarespace.com. Squarespace.com sponsoring today's show all week, really. And they're awesome. We love these guys. I'm just going to give you a scenario here. You heard us talking about the Spider-Man earlier. Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say you're really into Spider-Man. You're thinking, man, I really want to have like a site dedicated to Spider-Man. And it would contain little audio clips of me sharing my devotion of Spider-Man. It would include photos of the Spider-Man. It would have a whole section on why Tobey Maguire was a bad idea. Things like that.
Right.
And you just fill this website up, and it would look amazing. Why? Because the tools are there for you to do it quickly, easily, and without having to be some kind of programming whiz. And even if you are one, a lot of this stuff is just about convenience. Like, let me get just the raw meat of the deal. I don't want to mess around with code anymore. I just want to make a nice website, have it run well, have it look good on mobile devices. Boom. Done. And you want to sell some merch. You got a little Spider-Man merch you want to sell.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let's say it's pictures of Tobey Maguire's face with a line through it. So
Maybe
that's the shirt.
Mislabeled pictures of the Scorpion.
Yes. Say this is He-Man villain number 54, Spike Tail or something. You can do all of that and more with a free trial. Do that first. Try it out. No credit card required. I like that part. And then if you decide to keep going, we do have a code that'll save you some money. The code is MORNING, just the word MORNING. That'll get you 10% off your account at squarespace.com. That's MORNING at checkout at squarespace.com.
If communists have attempted to inject their propaganda into the motion picture, they have failed miserably.
It's Celebrity Poop, brought to you by
Stream the Machine, the Saturday morning podcast with Jake Mercer and Tony DePalma, where we talk about news, trivia, health, and all sorts of other things. Need your early Saturday morning talk show fix? Join us for the live show at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, 9:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Check out streamthemachine.com to check up on previous episodes and find the link to the live stream, or follow STM Podcast on Twitter to find out when the show airs.
Stephen Colbert of the Colbert Report.
So is he going to go by Colbert when this whole thing?
Well, I think it's always been. Colbert is the real pronunciation. So
is it okay?
I don't think he's going to change it.
He should be Colbert once he takes over the new.
The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. I think that's a terrible idea. They better not do that.
Okay.
I'm sure it'll still be Colbert, and I'm sure he'll be great. I've now, after seeing a clip of this meeting last night, I feel even better about it. He was on The Late Show with David Letterman, checking out the new digs. This would have been yesterday. Yeah, Tuesday's episode. Stephen Colbert, the incoming host of CBS's Late Show, visited as a guest of the outgoing ringmaster David Letterman on Tuesday's episode. Letterman, age 67. Goodness gracious.
Wow.
Who I've watched since he was in his 30s.
Yeah.
And used to just.
He started with the morning show too.
Yeah,
Remember
he did.
His morning show.
Yeah, I never saw it though, but I knew it was
Weird
there.
set.
It existed. That we know. Then he went on to do Late Night on NBC, which is where I got completely sucked in and never missed an episode. I was always late for school or dead tired all day because I was up that night watching it. Just freaking loved it. He has been the host since the 93 debut of this new thing on CBS. It's not new anymore, but that's when that happened. It's retiring next year, and CBS has tapped Colbert, age 49, as his successor. 49, geez. That's young.
Wow.
That's young in talk show years, isn't it?
Yeah, it totally is. Yeah.
For a primetime one. Colbert has hosted Comedy Central's Emmy Award-winning The Colbert Report.
Thank you.
I'm just doing this for you.
I know. I appreciate it. I can tell.
For the past 8 years after becoming a breakout star on Jon Stewart's The Daily Show, Colbert sat on the gray couch for the interview by Letterman, who remained behind the desk with the trademark old-time broadcast microphone. Now, I have to take issue with that.
That's the most useless sentence ever.
It really is, but I want to take even a bigger issue with it. First of all, you're right. It is totally useless.
Yes.
Number two, he's using a PR40 from Hale microphone, the same one I have right here. It is not an old-timey microphone. It's a microphone that's new. Yeah, that's the microphone he's using. I'm going to get a picture of it. Letterman's. Now, he used to, in the old days, use a really
he'd
old
have
mic.
one on his desk, like he'd have an old-time microphone that wasn't hooked up to anything, just sitting on his desk.
Yes, and it was always old-timey, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the new one. Hold on.
Okay.
It could be a Shure, but I'm pretty sure it's a Hale.
Skype,
I know it's the Hale. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in the Skype.
Okay.
So here you go. I'm sure this is the Hale PR40, like I'm using right now, except it doesn't have a big red knob on it. Okay, Skype. Here you go.
All right.
And then I'll also put it in the chat. Here you go, chat.
Oh yeah, right. That's not old-timey.
No,
at all.
it's not old-timey in the least.
Funny. He used to have one that was like one of those silver ones that looks like.
Yeah, like the old CBS Radio presents, like one of those deals.
The metal grill on it. Yeah.
I'm gonna find the old one. He's gone through a few over the years. Hold on. There he is in the old days. Well, I can't find a good one, but yeah, somewhere in here there's like an old-timey looking piece of business. Oh, I'm gonna miss. You know what? Say what you want about Letterman. I know people say in real life he's kind of a jerk and all that. I don't care. I've always liked his show, and I'm gonna miss him.
Yeah.
The network provided a brief clip of the already taped show. That's what I saw. I haven't seen the whole episode. I'll probably watch that today. Go check it out. Mitch Hurwitz, you're familiar with his work. He's the brain behind Arrested Development.
Oh, yeah, of course. And I was trying to make the connection. It's like, yeah, of course, Arrested Development.
It's like you never hear it anywhere else, but you know the name. It's like, oh, yeah, and then you'll see it in the credits and go, yeah, Mitch Hurwitz.
Yeah.
He has signed a deal to create new original series for Netflix. That's kind of exciting. Mitch Hurwitz has signed a multi-year deal with Netflix. Yeah. Deadline.com reports. As part of the deal, the Arrested Development creator will create and produce new original series as well as consult on other Netflix projects. Let's see. We are lucky to be in the business with Mitch Hurwitz, a true genius of one of the most distinctive voices in comedy today, says Netflix's chief content officer, Ted Sarandos. Mitch, I don't know why I'm freaking out. You know what's funny? Okay, I got to tell you something. Joel Silver, you know him? He's a producer in Hollywood.
Yes.
Not Joel Silver. Not the actor who touches himself in Time Cop. Not him. Joel, is it Silver?
Schumacher?
No, maybe it is Joel Silver. Who's the big producer? Not director, but he produces everything. Joel Silver. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong. Yeah. No, that's him.
Yeah, there's
He's
a
the
Joel
producer.
Silver that's a director and Joel Silver that's the actor. I think there's.
Or is it Ron Silver's the actor?
Oh, Ron Silver's the actor.
Okay.
Yes,
All
that's
right.
it. That's what it is.
Sorry. Joel Silver, American film producer, known for action films like Lethal Weapon, Die Hard, his Silver Pictures, and Dark Castle Entertainment. You see them on everything. It's like everything you ever watch, that guy's got his hands in. And my brother-in-law is doing some work for him, some restorative iron work or something. And this guy flies here on his own plane. Like he's got his own plane, right?
Of course he does.
Flies here, lands here, comes in the office, and will be all pissed. Like, this thing sucks. You guys got to just like freaking out, and then go, all right, where can we go get a lot of meat for lunch? Where can we get a bunch of meat?
Really?
Yeah, so they all go to like this Rodizio Grill, kind of like Brazilian meat place on the stick.
If you want meat, boy, that's nonstop meat.
And he's like, yeah, sorry about earlier. I know I was a little bit out of there. Oh, this meat is good. All right, guys, you don't screw this up. I got to catch a flight, get back on that plane and fly back to California. Really interesting dude.
Huh.
But responsible for so many movies, even this new Nonstop and the Sherlock Holmes TV show. He's producer on all this stuff. The Matrix, for heaven's sakes.
Oh yeah, of course. Wow.
He's a big shot.
So with this Mitch Hurwitz thing,
Mitch Hurwitz.
Mitch Hurwitz. I kind of hope that we hear about it now, and then we don't hear about it until it comes out. Because if they keep playing this thing up, like, hey, only 6 more months till the Mitch Hurwitz thing comes out on Netflix, there's going to be so much hype that it's just not going to be able to live up to.
I kind of agree.
Kind of like when we first heard about the Arrested Development stuff coming.
Which is better now, by the way, when you watch it without the hype and all together than it was when they launched it. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
It's much, much better now. And I agree with you 100%. Hire him, tell us about it, and then go to work. Put your head down, Mitch Hurwitz, and let's go. Anyway, there you go. Why did I tell you the Ron Silver or the Joel Silver story? I don't even know why. Where did I go?
We were talking about Mitch being a popular director. I don't know.
Popular dude man?
Popular dude man. I don't know.
I don't either. All right, so we'll just talk about Tweaked Audio because I know what that's about. TweakedAudios.com sponsoring the show. They have been forever. These guys are amazing. Go pick up an amazing pair of earbuds. Every day we hear stories about people getting them finally and going, yeah, you're right. These are rad. And by the way, their service is incredible. And that I know. That I can tell you. These guys are freaking great. Compatibility includes iPods, iPhones, Android phones, MP3 players of all types. And there are still some of those out there, by the way. Hey, do they still make the River? What was that one called?
The iRiver.
iRiver. Remember that?
Creative, right?
Was
it made by Creative? No, it was...
they were Korean, I thought. Here we go.
Jukebox or the...
iRiver Shop is still online. They still have a bunch of players. And
I think I still have one in a box somewhere. It looks like a red Toblerone, like a little triangular, extruded triangle.
I had really good voice recording at the time. That's why everybody was buying them. I don't know if they're any good at that anymore, but at the time,
it had a line-in jack, so you could actually plug a good microphone in as you were, doing remote podcasting kind of stuff.
All right, they have something called the Estelle and Kern AK120 Titan MQS dual DAC audio system. It's for listening, I assume. Oh no, is this for recording? Well, anyway, $1,499.
I'm looking at this thing.
Why is that so much money?
That's an ugly box.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
So it's dual DAC.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
You're awfully excited about it.
I don't know what's happening.
I'm looking at this thing and going, yeah, okay, that's good.
Oh, I don't want it. Are you kidding me? I don't know what it's for. I can't tell. Here's a video.
I know. I'm looking at the. It looks like an iPod that you stuck a thing to the side of, like a.
Hey, that's a great It's all in Korean. All right.
Yeah, and they're obviously doing some great stuff with audio there. I trust those guys.
No, and that video it was locked, so I couldn't adjust the volume on it. Good job, guys.
Was that Estelle or Kern we were listening to there?
That was my brother Matt, apparently. I hear Korean, and I just think my brother Matt, because he's the only one I know that speaks it all the time.
Right.
Still does. Go to his house, they talk normal to you, like, oh, well, we have a sushi, we make a sushi today, this and that, and it's all normal, everyone's talking. And then my brother and he's Korean, and she is Korean as well, and if something bad happens, or one of them is frustrated with the other one, all Korean. Straight up Korean.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my Hungarian grandmother does that. The Hungarian comes out when she's mad or frustrated. Sometimes you've just got to curse in your native tongue.
Brian, I would watch a video series on YouTube called Me and My Hungarian Grandmother.
Coming from Mitch Hurwitz.
Yeah, coming soon. Netflix deal. Exclusivity, baby. TweakedAudio.com is the place. 33% off with the code STREAM. That's what I was trying to get to. Stream at checkout. Check them out. Do it. Go. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, no Nicole, it's her birthday. But we will have Tom, and we will have some recommendals. We'll get to those in a minute. But before all that, music.
All right, this one going out to Judd from California. Dear Scooter McGillicuddy and Bandersnatch Cumberpoo, April 23rd marks my 45th year on the planet. That's a lot of parking lot tacos.
Yeah, it is.
To mark the occasion, I'd like to request the mashup cover of Home/Dirty Paws by the Gardner Sisters. Doves in Slow-Mo, Judd from California.
Never heard of this band.
The Gardner Sisters,
Yeah.
no, they're kind of like YouTube sensation level, kind of like Pomplamoose and stuff like that. The weird Harp Sisters kind of level.
By the way, I heard a thing about the Pomplamoose deal and how they haven't done anything for a while. Like they've kind of gone off air for a while, haven't they? I mean, she went on a solo deal for a while, but
Yep, and he's half of Patreon.
yeah,
like
which
co-founded Patreon.
Yeah, which was in this interview. That's what they mentioned. They said, "Yeah, we're not making a lot of music together, not because we broke up or anything like that." It says because we're usually sleeping on the floor of the Patreon office trying to keep stuff going. So
no, but oh my God, some recent videos that Jack Conte has done, like that Pomplamoose. They've done a couple original songs lately that are just great, but the videos that go along with them are amazing. Like it is Michel Gondry kind of stuff.
Ooh, wow.
The guy who did Eternal Sunshine of Spotless Mind.
That's cool.
Such great stuff, and very Bird and the Bee sounding. Their most recent original song. You could definitely go check it out.
I like both the Bird and the Bee, so I'm in.
I'm fans of the Bird and the Bee.
That's right.
By the way, the original versions of these songs, Home by Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros and Dirty Paws by Of Monsters and Men, as Judd from California points out, are remarkably similar. And there's somebody who's put together a video where they put the two songs side by side. In this cover, you'll hear these two songs together and you'll be like, oh, this is one song, isn't it?
Weird.
So there you go. Here you go. It is a mashup, a cover mashup of Home and Dirty Paws performed by the Gardner Sisters.
Here it is. When we come back, Tom Merritt, our recommendals, your emails and more. Be right back.
Alabama, Arkansas, I do love my ma and pa, not the way that I do love you. Well, holy moly, me oh my, you're the apple of my eye. Boy, I've never loved one like you. Oh man, you're my best friend. Scream it to the nothingness. There ain't nothing that I need. Well, hot and heavy pumpkin pie, chocolate candy tastes so nice. There ain't nothing please me more than you. Oh, home, let me come home. Home is wherever I'm with you. Oh, home, let me come home. Home is wherever I'm with you. Ooh, 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 ooh. Jumping up and down the floor. My head is an animal, and once it was an animal. It had a son who mowed the lawn. The son was an okay guy. He had a pet dragonfly. The dragonfly, he ran away, but he came back with a story to say. Oh, home, let me come home. Home is wherever I'm with you. Oh, home, let me come home. Home is wherever I'm with you. Ooh, let me come home. Home is wherever I'm with you. Oh, home, let me come home. Home is wherever I'm with you.
Halt or face the evil hook of trap. Trapjaw.
Trapjaw, Battlecat, and He-Man each sold separately, string not included.
That hook won't stop He-Man. Then Trapjaw will use his vicious claw. Still no contest. Then Trapjaw will use his wicked laser. Even a one-armed army can't stop He-Man and Battlecat. You win this time, He-Man.
Trapjaw figure from the Masters of the Universe collection. He-Man and Battlecat figures each sold separately. From Mattel.
This is outrageous!
This is the morning stream. Hail Hydra!
I think we're done with that Hail Hydra thing yet. Still going on.
I don't know. It's still kind of fun.
Just kind of enjoying it.
Yeah.
I like the creative ones, like, oh, here's Bush and Obama hugging and whispering. Yeah.
Right.
Stuff like that.
Hail Hydra.
I wonder how long that... Is he laughing?
That's exactly what it would be. Right?
Nice.
By the way, Dodd texted me, said the microphone on David Letterman's desk is an old RCA DX77. It's a replacement for the original microphone given to him as a gift from the NBC crew when he left the network a couple of years after making the move to CBS. The original microphone was stolen. The microphone on his desk is usually not plugged in. His primary microphone is lapel clipped to his tie. The new mic is indeed a PR40.
Ah, see? Boy, I bet those Hail people are thrilled about that.
I'm sure. A little product placement.
Yeah. I saw it and went, I know that mic. I'm using it. All right. What are we doing here? Oh, you know what? Let's do it proper, I guess.
Okay.
Hold on. How about there? No, Nicole, but we're here.
Happy birthday, Nicole.
Yes, happy birthday. We hope it's a grand time. It's nice your husband's taking you out to breakfast.
Hope he took you somewhere like Mimi's and not just to Denny's or...
Yeah. Denny's is no good until you're over 56.
You know what? I take that. I like Denny's, actually. I like their the do-it-yourself Grand Slam or the custom Grand Slam where you can say, you know what? Give me an egg white. Give me some egg whites. Give me the whole wheat French toast.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's pretty damn good.
Do you have Village Inn where you are?
Oh yeah. Well, the ones around me have been rebranded to VI. Like they're all.
Oh my gosh.
They're the new rebranding to make them hip and cool.
I was about to recommend them, but now I'm backing off my plan.
Really?
That's stupid.
Oh,
they don't need to KFC that thing up. Just own it. Embrace who you are. Village Inn. You're not VI. That's horrible.
VI. Let's go to the VI for breakfast.
I understand IHOP. There's some truncation that makes sense there, right? There's some things I get, but that's dumb. They don't need to do that. And for the record, I don't like IHOP very much. I feel like I've eaten a car every time I walk in there.
Yeah.
It's just too much food.
A little too much. Big, thick, fat pancakes.
Yeah, nobody wants that. Actually, I do want that sometimes, but I don't want it now. All right, Daryl. I mean, not Daryl. Brian. Brian, you're not Daryl. Let's do this. Why did I call you Daryl? All right, fine. I have to play that again.
No, you don't. No,
okay. All right, I'll play this instead.
Squeery.
All right, I feel better now.
Perfect.
So I'm going to recommend a documentary I just saw. I watched it to the treadmill. It's on Netflix streaming, and it's an older documentary. I want to say this was made in the 80s, in fact. It is only a 4:3 presentation, but it doesn't hurt it at all. It was nominated for Best Documentary at the time. And is really, really good. It's if you're interested in World War II or post-World War II stuff, it's called Bikini Radio, which sounds weird, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It sounds like you know what it sounds like?
Like it's right up my alley.
It sounds like an 80s like dirty comedy or something.
It does, yes.
Beach comedy.
From the 80s. Bikini Radio. From the guys who brought you Hard Bodies.
Yeah, exactly. But it's not that at all. In fact, it's not even close. So I didn't know this, and I haven't had time to kind of research this, but I'm pretty sure the name Bikini comes from the island they feature in this movie.
Correct. The nuclear... an island they did nuclear testing on, if I remember.
And that is the film. That is exactly what this movie's about. So it's about, they call it radio because they set up a radio station on the island that existed there only for a little while and only for the first and last time during this test that they have this radio station. It was all PR stuff, so they'd bring on locals and servicemen and, higher-ups in the Army and say, now, what do you think about the testing here? Well, we believe the American people will benefit directly from blah, 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 all that kind of stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And very propaganda. It was all propaganda to try to soften the idea that, hey, it's cool that we're doing this testing here. So they did these 2 giant nuke tests on this island and moved all the natives off the thing. Set these things off. And this is one of those documentaries I love because there's no narration. Nobody's having to tell me what's going on. The entire story is being told with footage from the time. Footage and audio from the time that it happened, and nobody once ever comes on and goes, the year was 44, and the United States. There's none of that narration. It's just straight up, here's how it went. And that's a good documentary in my opinion.
That's cool. Yeah, without all the flourish and...
Yeah, you don't have to over-explain things to me, or you don't have to twist it. It was kind of like that weird God camp thing they did, that one movie where all the kids were in some Jesus camp all week.
Oh, yeah.
And I like that one because it just showed you what was going on, and nobody said anything.
Right.
So you're kind of left to make all your own decisions, you know? You don't have to
Did you say what year this came out?
80-something.
Okay.
Mid-80s, I want to say. It's on Netflix now. And it was really interesting, and I had no idea this stuff was going on and how it all went down. And then there's a big shocker in that movie. Like about 3/4 of the way through, I did not expect, and it kind of freaked me out.
Really?
So, yeah, I think people should see it. It's definitely worth seeing. No Godzilla.
Oh.
That would have been awesome. Just rise out of the water. I wish it was something that cool. It was something that was kind of sad, but also just like, whoa, wow.
Wow.
Like we were pulling the tail of a beast back then. We really didn't know what we were up to. It was bad.
Right.
Anyway, people should check it out. It's called Bikini Radio and is on Netflix now as a documentary that is streamable. Got anything you've been seeing lately you want to...
Something I'm going to pimp that came out, actually just appeared on regular TV on Friday, but now is available on Hulu. And it's funny, I got so many emails. Well, I got a few emails after this came out because it took place in Arvada, Colorado. It's the most recent episode of Kitchen Nightmares, the Gordon Ramsay thing. I actually think I like this show a little bit better than Hell's Kitchen. I think Hell's Kitchen, I mean, it's the reality shows, so obviously editing is the biggest part of it. You know, you don't see reality, you see the characters that the editing team wants you to see.
Right.
And but I feel like Kitchen Nightmares is a little bit more accurate, I guess, than
when you say accurate, you mean more realistic or
more realistic.
Okay.
I'm sorry, yeah, more realistic. Less contrived.
Okay.
Please don't do it again. Don't get me wrong. There's still a lot of contrived stuff, but they're not putting people into situations like they do in Hell's Kitchen to see how they react. This is him going to a restaurant, trying the food, always hating it, digging around, finding the dirt under the fingernails of the head chef, etc.
Right.
So this most recent episode took place in Arvada at a restaurant called The Old Neighborhood. And it's funny, this thing has been around since the early 80s. I remember as a kid riding my bike past this place. It's right by the Target on 80th and Wadsworth, a big busy intersection. Never in my life ate there until about 4 months ago, after we had heard that Gordon Ramsay had come through and redone the place and kind of cleaned it up. So we thought, you know what, let's go try it. We'd never tried it before, so we don't have anything to compare it to. And then when that episode airs, we'll be able to see, what it was before. And it was kind of funny. We talked to the waiter about the situation, and he kind of said, yeah, they came in, the cameras all over the place, like we were tripping all over people and microphone guys, and there's really, you don't feel like there's this distance between you and what's going on. You feel like you're right in the middle of what's going on with the taping for the show, so you're always on edge. And but as far as like how the owners were feeling about almost closing the place because stuff was in such disrepair and so bad, and how he came in and turned it around and threw away all the crap all over the walls, and the food was great. I thought the food actually, when we ate there a few months ago, was actually really good. And based on seeing this episode, I'm glad we ate there after
the
Gordon Ramsay and his crew came through.
That's great.
But it was a really interesting episode, and you see a lot of Arvada in the interstitials. coming back from commercial, you'll see a shot of of this river and these mountains and this soccer field. It's like, oh yeah, I know exactly where that is. Tina and I were actually pausing every time they'd come back from commercial and look at each of the interstitial shots and say, oh yeah, that's over there on by Carr Street, and that's over there on Ralston, etc. So
that's cool.
It's really good. It was a very entertaining episode.
I would love that. I enjoy that kind of stuff when something hits that close to home, so you can kind of get a real feel for it. Yeah. Doesn't happen very often.
So if you want to see what Arvada looks like, then that's
my chance. All right,
there's your chance right there. Well, you could always come visit.
I do want to visit. So you know what
How come you never
visit me? We had a neighbor in the TLC show where you'd go into the house and they would redo everything. That was called
Home
Site, whatever it was.
Not Extreme Home Makeover, right? That's the ABC one.
Yeah, that's another one. This was more of an interior kind of quiet deal. It wasn't like a giant crowd outside or any of that.
Yeah. Trading Spaces.
Trading Spaces. That's it.
Yeah.
You'd trade and you'd we had a neighbor who would do that, and
that's cool.
That was weird to see that whole thing because it was just the road
and it was
right next to me.
It was right around the corner from you.
Yeah.
They were doing. Wow.
Isn't that weird? And they'd show like the park right there and that place I used to walk the dog 1,000 times. It's really weird. Cool. Well, good. Well, there's your recommendals for the day, everybody. Hope you like them. Hope you can stick that in your craw. Let's get Tom in here and do a little morning tech time.
Yay!
I'm looking forward to it. Because, where else am I going to get my technology news?
Right. From the man.
No, I don't have that yet from the man.
With the computer, as with any tool, the concept and direction must come from the man.
The man in question is one Tom Merritt. A Tom Merritt. Hello, Tom.
Both Tom Merritts. All the Tom Merritts.
How many Tom Merritts have you met?
They now come in 6-packs.
Yeah, that's right.
I've only met one other Tom Merritt.
But you have met one. That's interesting.
It's true.
Have you ever met another Scott Johnson?
I've met many.
You've actually met another Scott Johnson.
I've met many Scott Johnsons, and it's frustrating. And if you go search for them, there are many more. There's too many of me.
There's tons of Tom Merritts out there, too.
Are there really?
You want my video?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, thanks. Hey, look at you. Oh, yeah. Represent St. Louis. Fantastic.
St. Louis Browns.
So it's Tom Merritt, everybody. He comes on the show and does a little tech segment here. Because, if there's one thing this show lacks during the week, it's tech. And so we do it on Wednesdays. And we fill that hole nicely, I think. Mm-hmm. And Tom...
That's what I do.
It's what I do. Tom is... it's a weird time of year, I feel like, anyway. Because... There's this time of year where you kind of have a pad between CES and kind of some of the big early year announcements, and then you kind of have a little bit of a lull before some of the bigger companies start swooping in and doing their individual conferences from Apple and Samsung and everybody, right. Google or whoever. What could possibly be happening today that everyone's all aflutter about?
Well, there's a couple things. One is that the $299 1+1. Don't call it a 2.
All right.
It's from a company called the OnePlus. They decided to name their phone One. The big deal with this thing is it's an Android phone for $299 unlocked that runs CyanogenMod default.
Oh, interesting. So is this a thing you could go into an AT&T or a Verizon store and just buy? Or?
No, you're gonna have to go to OnePlus's website. It's marketed directly in China, and then it got an international version as well. So if you're an AT&T or T-Mobile customer, you can go order it online, but unsubsidized, $299, and this thing is not light on specs. It's got like a 2.5 gigahertz Adreno. 2.5 gigahertz Snapdragon 801. It's got an Adreno 330 GPU, 3 gigabytes of RAM, and that $299 is for the 16 gig. There is a 32 gig version available as well as a 64 gig version.
You tempted by such things? Is something you'd want?
I am tempted by this thing, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to buy a new phone yet. Probably going to wait until the autumn.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the fact that it comes with CyanogenMod default, and then it's only $299.
Yeah.
Well, sign me up.
Yeah.
I mean, what's not, unless you just are like, no, I'm an Apple person or I'm a Windows Phone person and I will not want anything else. Like, you're an Android person, or you don't care. This is a great phone.
It does seem like it's not. You just nailed the demographic this is for. This is for people who if you're not locked into somebody's ecosystem or brand loyalty, why wouldn't you pay this little for that? Like, why wouldn't you? I would. I'd even consider it anyway, because that's just freaking dirt cheap.
It starts to work on your brain, doesn't it?
And it does.
Yeah, but wait a minute, $299, and that's unsubsidized. And I'm like not in a contract. I own that phone.
Mm-hmm. And I'm kind of an Apple guy. This is coming from an Apple guy. But that's still tempting to me. So we'll have to see how that pans out. You mentioned there was
the other thing that I was going to mention that's out there in the world today is Amazon Prime getting a deal with HBO.
Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me?
About time.
I don't have to borrow my friend's iPad account anymore to watch my HBO?
No. You're going to still have to borrow your friend's iPad.
Yeah.
There's two things. One is HBO Go will come to the Fire TV box by the end of the year. That's not that surprising or big of a deal.
No.
Amazon Prime is getting seasons of classics such as The Sopranos, The Wire, Deadwood, Rome, 6 Feet Under, Eastbound and Down, Flight of the Conchords, and Enlightened, as well as a few of the mini-series, some original movies, and some comedy specials.
Did you mention Oz? And
I did not mention Oz. I did not mention Sex and the City.
Yeah.
I did not mention Game of Thrones. I did not even mention Girls, The Newsroom, or Veep, although apparently past seasons of those will come down the road.
I've never seen a single, I know this is going to make me seem like a lamer here, but I've not seen any of The Sopranos ever. So
you can.
If you're
binge watch,
if you're telling me that's coming to Amazon Prime streaming, I'm in. Now is that
binge watch?
I assume this is Prime streaming and not you can now buy this stuff through them, because I think a lot of that you can already do.
Yeah, the stuff that HBO already sells, old seasons of Game of Thrones, usually a year. Usually about the time the new season of Game of Thrones comes out, they release the old ones digitally on iTunes and Amazon and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now this is in your streaming.
Yeah.
So, but it's select old seasons of HBO and not the ones you want.
Not exactly the ones you are interested in.
I mean,
right now.
Sopranos is great. Actually, Band of Brothers is going to be in there. There's good stuff in there. If you have access to an HBO Go account, though, you have access to all this stuff already.
Sure.
And they're not giving Amazon everything. So people on the internet are going a little crazy, like your reaction, right? It's the gut reaction. It's like, whoa, Amazon and HBO, this is a big step.
Yeah.
Because it is a step for HBO to license their material to a streaming service. They've never done that before.
Sure.
But it's pretty limited.
It's a baby step toward maybe something bigger. Like at some point, we talked about this before, I think even here, and I know you talk about it on Cord Killers all the time, but this idea that HBO is inching its way out of the walled space that they are trapped in with bundled packages and cable deals and all of that.
Yeah.
But they're just doing it this little sliver at a time because you can't do it all at once, number one, and these baby steps are kind of required for the place they're in. They can't really, Andy Dufresne could only carve out so much rock a day with a spoon, right? That's how I look at it. They've got to, if they're going to get out of that prison and swim through pipes full of shit and come out clean on the other side, they're going to have to do it slowly.
HBO is stuck on the rock. And the rock is called cable companies. I actually don't even think HBO, in some ways, I feel like HBO is doing it right. Like they're the only ones who really are living with a foot in both worlds. Because the difficulty has always been old system starts to fall apart, new system not as lucrative yet. So it is stupid to jump entirely to the new system.
Yeah.
Right. So if for instance, the music companies in 2001 had said, holy crap, music players are here with MP3s, we're stopping making CDs. Well, that would have been stupid.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But what they did was say, well, this is going to eat into our CD sales and it's not very big yet. So let's resist it. Let's push against it, which is stupid, too. What HBO is doing is going, where does it make sense for us to put a foot down in the new world?
Yeah.
HBO Go and now Amazon Prime Instant Streaming. And where do we need to hold off because it doesn't pay off yet?
Right.
And like you say, that it's like they're just eating away with a spoon there.
Yeah.
And the guards will never know. Pretty soon HBO will be on the other side laughing, jumping up and down at the cable company saying, we're free.
And the cable company is going to walk into the old cell that HBO used to inhabit, wonder what's going on, and throw a rock through that poster of what's her name and go, oh no, he dug his way out. And
it's going to be a poster of Sarah Jessica Parker.
Right. And before you know it, he's pulling a gun out of his fake Bible and shooting himself in the head. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. We have just described the downfall of the cable industry.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Well,
though.
and Free Rangers pointed out in the chat room. He said there's nothing wrong with Sopranos, Rome, or 6 Feet Under on Amazon Prime, and I do agree with that. Like, these are good shows. It's a great deal for Amazon Prime. It's a great deal for HBO because people start to get exposed to HBO shows maybe that they haven't and go, oh, maybe I do want to get HBO somehow.
Yeah.
But it's not the, oh my gosh, I can now watch. I mean, what everybody wants to watch is Game of Thrones.
Sure.
Right? Mm-hmm. And they want to watch it the same day it airs.
That's
and
your elephant in the room.
That
yeah.
by having an HBO subscription or access to an HBO subscription.
Yeah, or cheating and getting around it, either by torrenting it or, like I do, borrow a friend's account.
Well, like they said, we know people are going to borrow their friends and family's accounts.
Yeah.
That's all. They didn't quite say go ahead, but they sort of said, it's not a bad thing for us.
They're kind of doing a somebody compared it to free-to-play models with video games and how that's kind of picking up and taking off, and how they're becoming a model for how free-to-play is benefiting them, and they're actually winning, despite the fact that a bunch of people are getting their stuff other ways. It's really kind of fascinating to watch. But I knew that was going to be a big talk today, so I'm glad you brought it up. And we hope everyone out there is looking forward to their new HBO overlords as they soon gobble up the entire entertainment industry. That means nudity and everything. That's what that means.
Right. Nudity, swearing, and death.
Yeah, that's right. And little guys.
You start to just not even notice it anymore on Game of Thrones.
I know, you really
don't.
Like,
oh, there's the boobs.
It's part of the tone of it to the point that you really don't
notice. It's like
notice.
background noise.
It almost becomes a game. When you see the thing at the beginning that says this program contains nudity, you're like, all right, my money is on that it's going to just be some random hookers in the brothel.
Yeah, probably.
No, I'm going to say it's going to be so and so. All right, let's see who wins.
Yeah, we finally get to
Game
see
of nudes.
Yes, exactly.
Game of nudes. All right, I'm in. Sign me up. Tom Merritt, everybody, purveyor of all things tech at the Daily Tech News Show, which will air today. I'm on that thing in a week or two or something. Can't wait.
Yes, you are.
That'll be a good time. No problem. It's always a good time to be on there. Of course, Current Geek this weekend. We've got Adam coming on. I always forget his last name.
Pulaski.
Pulaski. That's it. Like Dr. Pulaski from season 2 of Star Trek. Got it.
Sure.
And also Garnett Lee, video game extraordinaire man, will be on, which I'm really excited about. Really like that guy, so he's going to be on there as well. So watch for that. Tom, anything else you want to point people to this week?
Just want to mention the FSL Tonight Kickstarter again. It's on pace. We've got 16 days to go, so we're just shy of halfway through, and we're $2,339, which is just shy of halfway to funded. So if you've been thinking about, I would like to hear some FSL Tonight action this summer, if you're a follower of, I don't know, the Gallifrey Time Lords or the San Francisco Federation and want to see how they fare, check out our Kickstarter. You can search FSL Tonight on Kickstarter.com or just go to FSLTonight.com. There's links there as well. It's not... Last year, because it was new, it funded in the first week, so it's perking along a little slower this time. I think a lot of people are like, I'll get around to that. So get around to that if you're interested.
Now's a good time to get around to that.
Yeah. A lot of that going around.
Yeah, I know.
It's weird.
I gave a little retweet action to you, Ibit, yesterday.
Thanks. It definitely helps, and thank you very much, Tom. Always appreciate it.
Yeah, very cool. Well, Tom, it's been fun, man. Thanks a lot. Let's do this again next week. What do you say?
Let's do it.
All right. See you, Tom. Bye, Tom. See ya. All right. Brian.
Yes.
Let's do emails.
Right.
They're brought to you by
the TMS t-shirt at slashloot.com. Wear us on your torso and win friends. That's slashloot.com.
Slashloot.com, spelled SLASHLOOT.com.
Yes, don't actually put a slash in your browser because that won't work.
Actually, what will happen? Slashloot.com. What happens? The web page is not found.
Yeah. He's going to look for loot in your home folder or something.
Yeah, I tried to do a file search. You're right. Let's see here. We got a few emails. We'll rip through these. Rob Bellamy wrote in, says this is for Brian.
Okay.
Brian, I use my Harry's razor. They're a new sponsor.
Oh, yeah, the sponsor.
Yeah, we'll have them next week again. I use my Harry's razor to shave my mostly bald head. It's the best razor I have ever used for it, and it does not get dull as fast as other name brand razors I've used and paid $4 per cartridge for. If you haven't tried it yet, I hope you get to Rob Bellamy. So we have to try to arrange that and see what you think from one shaved head guy to another.
Mostly bald head.
Mm-hmm.
So are you keeping is he doing maybe a strip like a mohawk kind of thing, or is he?
I bet what he means is his head is mostly bald normally, and this is him shaving the parts that aren't.
Gotcha. Okay.
I think that's what he means. Like you do.
Yeah.
Same idea.
Well, you cannot have a full head of hair if I wasn't shaving it.
Well, one day, I just assume. I'd love to see that. Grow that thing out.
No.
If you got it, do it.
Not be good. No.
All right. If I start
Costanza level.
Costanza level, great.
Yeah.
If I start losing a bunch of hair in the back and I'm starting to thin out up there, I'll consider going the route of the full shave.
There you go.
I love the show, says Robert, and I would never stop listening daily, but you are officially wrong about 2 things now. Mission Impossible 2 is a terrible movie, and kombucha does not taste good. Love the show, though, Robert.
Okay.
Mission Impossible 2 is not a great movie, but it's fun to watch. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's a great movie at all. I'm saying it's fun to watch. It's a great movie to watch. And kombucha, surprisingly, did not taste bad. I was shocked. And I don't know what brand. See, a lot of people make it at home in like a big barrel, and it's all terrible.
Right.
I'm not doing that.
kombucha In a mason jar.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm buying like store-bought.
Interestingly enough, kombucha is fun to watch.
Oh, hey, look at the mix. And Mission Impossible 2 tastes terrible.
It does, yes.
So bad. Love the show, though, says Robert. Thanks, Robert.
Thanks, Robert.
Ryan C. wrote in. Ryan C., that's right. I'm going to read his thing as it rhymes at the end.
Yeah.
The issue with Bryan Singer's case, okay, this is the thing we talked about earlier, is that it's not a criminal court case. The guy is suing him in civil court, money damages only. This is important to note because civil court is a preponderance of the evidence kind of standard. It's known for the 51% rule, meaning to lose, it only has to be 51% more likely to have occurred. This is way more lax burden of proof than the reasonable doubt, which is what criminal court uses. So there's a much higher likelihood of finding him guilty because it's not about reasonable doubt. It's about this 51%.
51%. Jeez.
That's scary. Could anybody just do this? Could somebody come to Brian Ibbett and go, you pooped on my lawn 8 years ago, and
We're taking to civil court.
I'm suing you for it. And if it's 51% likely that you did, which, that sounds about right, then you're screwed. That sucks.
Oh, jeez. Here's the poop.
Here's the poop, everybody. Ryan C., I got a law degree, he says.
Nice, thanks.
I love it when he comes in with, he writes in all the time with like legal stuff, which is great.
I like
Please
that.
keep that
we
coming.
need our legal advisor, TMS official legal advisor.
That's right. And if I ever get into some real trouble, I might need your help, Ryan.
Right. He'll get you out of that 51%.
Rob Bellamy, not to be confused with Bob, or there's another Bellamy.
No, but you can
Bellamy.
confuse him with the first person who wrote in.
Oh, what'd I say? Robert? Is he the same guy?
No.
Oh,
same guy.
Oh, it is the same guy. Okay, I've read 2 emails from that guy. He says, dudes, so stoked for you to have Harry's as a sponsor. Now it makes sense because he said the Harry's thing in the first place. I've been using their product for about 9 months now, and they're the best razors and blades, hands down. I didn't know this was the same guy.
Yeah.
Well, Rob, congratulations. You're the first person we've had 2 emails in the same day from.
Signed, Rob at harrysrazors.com.
That's funny. If you want to email us, you can. It's real simple. themorningstream@gmail.com is our email address, and we're happily going to take them from you. All right, 2 quick things.
Sure.
Today, there will likely be 2 separate announcements from me. I can't make them yet because I'm waiting for approval on both of them. Once they happen, though, keep an eye on my Twitter account, at Scott Johnson. I think you'll be glad you did.
Ooh.
1, if you're a gamer and you like video games. 2, if you're a big fan of Wendy's. And I don't mean the food. I mean my sister.
I was going to say, is there going to be a new old-fashioned hot and juicy hamburger coming out?
No, there is not.
Called the Scott Johnson.
Something way better than that. Way more therapeutic than that. But we'll announce that coming up soon. And speaking of which, Wendy will be on tomorrow for Therapy Thursday, I believe. FROGPANTS.com/TMS is our website. Email us themorningstream@gmail.com. On Twitter, Morningstream, Scott Johnson in Coverville. Go to bit.ly/jazzhero. We have about 7 hours left. A little shy of that. And
please do. Yeah, we're so close. We just got to make this thing happen.
Let's do it. Brian, anything else I'm missing?
That's it. It's going to be, for me today is going to be
it's all
Kickstarter.
about that.
It's going to be watching this thing. I've got some freelance to do, but for the most part, I'm going to be watching the Kickstarter and hoping that thing goes.
All right. Well, that sounds good to you. Let's send me your good vibes. Anyone out there who has ever had diverticulitis having a bad flare up today? I don't know why.
No.
I've completely faked my way through this show, acting like there's
you
nothing
totally
wrong.
have. Yeah.
But it hurts like a mother.
But now that you say that, I look back and say, "Oh yeah."
That one part where he wasn't pronouncing words properly.
That's right.
Weird.
He only mimed eating the minty waffle chocolate thing.
The other half's right here. Didn't finish it.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure it's fine. It's just, I don't know. My worry is I'm going to have to go back in and they're going to say, well, if this keeps cropping up, surgeries are in my... Oh, I don't want that.
Jeez.
I don't want that. Don't take no foot out of my colon.
Ooh.
All right. Yeah, that's it. Let's get out of here. You want to do some music? Something to take us out?
Let's do some music.
Right.
This one going out to, well, speaking of law, Chris wrote in, said, good morning, Scott and Brian. Chris, formerly from Provo, now from DC here, wanting to put in a request for my lovely wife, Sierra. It's our shared birthday on Wednesday, and I wanted to have you guys play something special for her. But first, a few random facts about our odds. Number one, the odds of being a triplet, 1 in 6,400. Number two, the odds of marrying somebody with the same birthday, 1 in 365, obviously. The odds of marrying a triplet who shares your birthday, 1 in 2.3 million.
Oh, my gosh.
And finding that special someone, priceless. With that being said, Brian, would you please play a cover of Pretty Woman for my awesome Utah bride? Love the Frodo. Chris, president of the J. Reuben Clark Law Society.
Chris Topham, man. He's the man. He's a cool kid. We like him.
He is.
Yeah.
And he knows his law. So good for him, man.
Yeah, we need him too.
So our second legal counsel for
I like it.
TMS.
We got backup. We got, man, we're set.
We are. If anything ever goes wrong, we're covered.
We eat something weird from Finland and all of us die. We got recourse.
That's right.
Anyway.
So I went through the library of covers of Pretty Woman and said, well, all right, yeah, there's the John Mellencamp version, the really early young John Mellencamp version. There's the Charlene Spiteri from Texas version. But you kind of just sometimes got to go with the one everyone knows. From 1982's Diver Down album, here's a cover of Roy Orbison's Pretty Woman by Van Halen.
Oh, yeah. Loving this. Bringing back some memories here. It's going to do it for us. Thank you guys for joining us. I'm probably going to kill the YouTube version because I know this one's going to show up on, hey,
oh, yeah,
this isn't legal.
We don't like this in here.
In fact, I'm going to do that right.
There you go.
Here